Welcome to Trish Stitched. I love finding secondhand linens to sew with, and last year I came across a bin of miscellaneous embroidered napkins and tea towels. I wanted to upcycle them into something usable that showcased the stitching and thought this was the perfect little project. Here's a step-by-step tutorial turning a fabric napkin into a tea bag wallet. Along the way, I'll be sharing different design options to further customize your wallet. You will need a fabric napkin or cotton fabric scraps. You will also need some basic sewing tools and a purl snap or elastic and small button, lightweight fusible interfacing, and a small scrap of heavy interfacing. My napkin has a light pink folded edge attached to it, which I removed to add to my project. This step is optional, but if you have a similar napkin, this is a cute addition. You can use any coordinating fabric for this step. Here's an example of wallets with and without the decorative edge. Next, I'm cutting the wallet. My pattern piece measures 7¼ inches long by 5¼ inches high. All measurements are in the description below, and there's also a full written tutorial along with photos on my blog. When working with an embroidered design, I make a pattern piece out of wax or tracing paper to better see where the design will sit on the final project. I also added the 3/8 seam allowance outline. It can also be helpful to mark the fold of the wallet so you can see where the design will sit on front and back. Wallets with and without decorative pocket edge need 2 full body pieces, 7¼ inches by 5¼ inches, 1 exterior and 1 interior. For pockets without the decorative edge, cut 4 total pieces, 7¼ inches by 5¼ inches. Fold 2 pieces in half, long sides together, and top stitch. If your fabric is very lightweight, you can add lightweight interfacing before folding. For the decorative edge pocket, I cut 2 pieces, 7¼ inch by 1 3/8 inch out of the coordinating fabric. These pockets will also need 4 pocket pieces cut from the napkin, 7¼ inch by 2½ inch. For these pockets, the coordinating fabric will be sewn between each pocket piece with right sides together and a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Repeat for the other pocket pieces. I am sewing on the Janome Memory Craft 15,000. Links to all my sewing tools will be in the description below. Next, iron the seam allowances towards the pockets. At this point, you can add lightweight interfacing to your pieces. If you are working with a lightweight cotton, I recommend interfacing all pieces. If your fabric is a bit thicker, you can choose to interface just the body pieces and not the pockets. My fabric is very lightweight, so I'm adding lightweight interfacing to all pieces of my wallet. Fold both pockets in half and top stitch under the decorative edge. Another design detail you can choose to add at this point is decorative stitching. If you have small stitches on your machine or would like to hand embroider a design, this is the time to do it. I did this the first time I tested this project and loved the look. On one pocket piece, serge or zigzag the bottom edge of the pocket. This will become the top pocket on the wallet. On the interior body piece, measure 1½ inches down from the top. Line the top of the serged pocket on these marks and stitch with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. The second pocket will be stitched on the bottom of the interior body piece, just under 3/8 inch seam allowance. Baste the pocket sides in place, stitching from the bottom towards the top of your wallet, again just under the 3/8 inch seam allowance. We will also stitch a center line through these pieces to create the pockets. To make the center stitching, lightly mark center top and center bottom of pockets with fabric marking tool. Backstitch a few times at the top of the pockets to reinforce stitching. Next, we are making our snap piece. If you would like to use elastic and a button close instead of a purl snap, I recommend a 1/4 inch elastic or elastic cord. Cut a piece 3.5 inches long and create a loop. This will be stitched to the wallet exactly where the fabric piece will be stitched. For the snap piece, cut 3 inches by 2 inches from the leftover napkin. Add a piece of lightweight interfacing on the wrong side of the fabric. Measure and mark a 1/4 inch on 2 long sides and 1 short side. Fold and iron seam in. Then fold piece in half lengthwise. Top stitch around this piece, leaving open end raw. Add a purl snap to the fabric piece following the instructions on the purl snap packaging, or use a press or handheld tool. When I first started using purl snaps, I used a hammer with a snap setter tool, but if you are planning to work with purl snaps often, I recommend a handheld tool or a press tool like shown here. You can use a regular snap as well. I am working with a size 16 snap. Add the other end of the snap to the front body of the wallet. On the left side of the wallet body piece, mark 1 inch in and halfway down. For added strength, add a piece of heavier weight interfacing on the back of this mark. Add your snap back. Next, mark the left side of the pocket pieces halfway and pin fabric piece with the purl snap facing up. Stitch this piece just under the 3/8 seam allowance. If you are using elastic, this is where your elastic should be stitched in a loop shape, again with the loop towards the interior of the wallet. Now we build our wallet. Place wallet front body onto wallet pockets, right sides together. Stitch around the wallet with a 3/8 inch seam allowance, leaving about a 3-inch gap on the top of the wallet. Trim the corners of the wallet and turn it right side out. You can use a wooden dowel to push the corners out. Iron around wallet, folding the raw edge inside. Top stitch all the way around the wallet using a zipper foot to get around the snap. If you choose to add elastic instead of a purl snap, hand stitch a small button on the back of your wallet. And here's the finished project, a cute little tea bag wallet to gift or keep. Happy sewing!